Hola chicos y chicos, estamos listos para mañana, ¿no? So we're ready to start up the rest of our Unit 1, Day 2 vocabulary here. So we're getting ready to start it. I hope you all have a fantastic weekend. And if this is, of course, you're watching it on August 16th, it is. And if not, if you're in the later trimesters watching this, and you'll get to see how it might be a weekend or another day. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and start off. It's Unit 1, Day 2. And we're going to finish up our leftover vocabulary and also go forward with a little clip about entertainment and so forth based on CNN. So here we go. Learning targets for tomorrow's in-class session are, during our in-class session, we'll have the following learning targets. Number 1, I can understand a short advertisement, a radio, television, or commercial. And then number 2, I can identify some familiar words and various types of entertainment. Okay, and number 3, I think that was actually, they left out a word there. It's supposed to be I can understand when people talk about entertainment. So just in your own notes, or you can actually reference it on your overview, I can understand when people talk about entertainment. Okay? So here's the vocabulary that's been left over from our previous unit, our same unit rather. The first one here is going to be loud, phenomenal, proud, realistic, quiet, sad, silly, violent, etc. Then we'll do the ones about comparisons and other useful words, and we'll go ahead and bounce to those. This one right here, though, I want to make you have a little note here on your items. There is right here some student choice vocabulary options. These are to be looked up by the student, basically you, based on your choice, and then you'll need to verify that you've got the right definitions and so forth with me to make sure they're correct and so forth. I don't think you'll have any trouble doing that, but you can look them up using, for example, a dictionary. There's lots of really good online dictionaries. I know wordreference.com is a really good one, and there's some others too. Some people like the Google dictionaries, but if you need some assistance on finding some really good dictionaries to look those up on, or if you have a dictionary at home, that would work out good. A paperback dictionary or hardback dictionary, whatever you have there would be fine. Just let me know on those, and I'll help you. If you need a dictionary, I can let you borrow one actually too. But this is where you're actually going to pick out a set of the vocabulary that you have the most interest in. And the reason we do that, I really found out the hard way last year actually. I noticed that they had this student choice section on the vocabulary, and I was wondering, why in the world? Everyone needs to know all these words anyway. So last year I learned the hard way why they do that. Because some students will be bored out of their minds when they are talking about sports, whereas people who might be interested in sports really have no interest in video games or music or concerts or TV movies. So why in the world would we want to bore someone to death when they're never really wanting to know this or use that particular aspect of entertainment? And I know last year I had some students really bored when they had to learn about sports and they had no interest in sports, or when they had to learn about music and concerts and they had absolutely no interest whatsoever about those, or video games. So that's one of the reasons I think that Jefferson County, whenever they develop their curriculum, and it's a state model to go by too, but whenever they develop that, they actually left that to student choice. So that's why we're leaving that to student choice. What we want you to do is just pick out your favorite section of entertainment. If you like sports, do that section. If you like TV and movies, do that section. If you like music or a concert, do that section. And then the video game section if you like that. Whichever one you feel the most interest in. And you're going to, once you get all those looked up, you can do it anytime you want to before your first interpersonal assessment. And you'll actually bring them to me and make sure that they're good to go, and I'm sure they probably will be because you are really good motivated students, but still yet, just bring them to me just to check off, and I'll try to check them off when we do our group work in classes too. So just kind of keep those in mind, all right? And you don't have to worry about having me check off on them until we do our very first interpersonal speaking prompt, and that's when you talk with someone else in class using the assessment we have. So that'll be a little bit down the road, a couple days down the road. But right now, of course, just look those up, have them when you get a little chance. You can look up in a dictionary when you have a free minute. If you're got some free minute in between classes and you're not doing nothing, just look them up then. You've got time to do it, but do it on your own time, okay? And then I'll verify that you've got the right words and everything, because, like I'm the Spanish person, but you're the student, and I don't want to bore you to death talking about TVs and movies when you really may or may not have interest in that. Same with sports, when you may or may not have interest in sports, or same with the other stuff. So that's why we do that, okay? Let's go forward now. Okay, here's the leftover vocabulary words, and I've got to kind of straight up here the leftover vocabulary words to give an opinion. Okay, And to give an opinion, first off, on the leftover vocabulary words we have loud. Loud of simply means fuerte. That's what I've always heard in Ecuador. But you can also use ruidoso or ruidosa. And then volumen alto, if you want to have high volume on something, that would be volumen alto. There are some other ways to say it, but typically, if you're wanting to say something really fuerte, that would be loud. Most of the time, that's what I've always heard in Ecuador. Of course, each country is a little bit different sometimes, but fuerte is the simplest one. Phenomenal is phenomenal. Orgulloso or orgullosa. If I want to say I'm really happy or proud of the team for Harlan County High School, I would say estoy muy orgulloso de mis estudiantes. I'm really proud of my students. If you want to say realistic, realista. Now, if you want to say unrealistic or very possibly unrealistic, the word that you generally hear is poco realista. So keep that one in mind too. Quiet, callado. Es un niño muy callado. He's a very quiet kid. Tranquilo is another way of saying it. Not heard as much, but it just depends on the context a lot of times. Poco llamativo. If you want to say, for example, this is a definition that's used a lot, poco llamativo, when you're talking about dress and grooming. For example, I could say, mi mamá le gusta la ropa poco llamativa. She likes clothing that's not very loud per se, so it's like quiet clothing. So that's in that particular context. Most of the time, though, you're going to hear callado, tranquilo, etc. So those are a couple little things. You'll also hear silencio, but not so much. It just depends on the context, like I said. Silencio is another thing, which if you want to be quiet, silencio, silencio. But, it just depends on that one, okay? Next up, sad, triste, que triste. Oh, you'll hear that a lot. Silly or stupid, tonto or tonta, or estúpido or estúpida. All right, violento is, of course, violent. All right, next up, and I'm going to go to the next slide here. To compare, if you want to make a comparison, to compare by itself, you just want to translate that, it's up to you, but it's para comparar. And then the best, we actually wrote this down the other day, but I'll review it with you. Lo mejor, okay? Better than, mejor que, and the worst, lo peor. If you want to say Michael Jordan is lo peor en basketball, you could say that. Or you could also say like Michael Jordan is lo mejor en basketball, if you want to do the better one. Okay, worse than, peor que. For example, you could say the University of Louisville, la Universidad de Louisville es peor que la Universidad de Kentucky. Or you could say la Universidad de Kentucky es peor que la Universidad de Louisville. Lo siento. And then you have some others there. Okay, the most, lo más divertido. Whenever we get into the food unit, you'll get to review a video we used in the Restaurantes de Mexico. And this little girl, she talks about this restaurant being the lo más divertido, the most fun. Or if you want to say it's the least fun, lo menos divertido, if it's the least fun. Okay, more than. More blank than blank. Okay, so más divertido que blah, blah, blah. It's more fun than whatever. If you want to say it's less fun, menos divertido que whatever. Okay, let me go back up there. Sorry, chicos. Menos divertido que caminar. It's less fun than walking. Okay, interesting, but still. Okay, other useful words. All right, chicos, here's some other useful words you'll need as well when you're talking about entertainment. Okay, significado en español, the meaning in Spanish is otras palabras útiles. Other useful words, of course, to begin. Empezar o comenzar, both of those mean to begin. To end, terminar. Lo terminé hace 5 minutos. I finished it about 5 minutes ago. To attend, asistir. Not atender, because that means something different. That means to like you're helping someone in some ways. But asistir is to basically attend, all right? To arrive, llegar. Okay, to meet, reunirse. And if you want to meet with someone, reunirse con el jefe, to meet with the boss. To leave, salir. Yo necesito salir, I need to leave. To look for, buscar. Voy a buscar a Juan. I want to look for Juan. Voy a buscar a Raquel, Rachel, or whoever. Okay, to have fun, divertirse. Have lots of fun, no? To cost, costar, cuesta mucho. Ticket. Ticket has various meanings in Spanish. It depends on the context and the country. That's what I've got. Depende del contexto del país. Boleto o billete are typically the ones you'll hear. Boleto is just simply like a boleto para bus, a bus ticket, or boleto para El evento. Billete is the same way. But still, it just depends, like I said. Entradas, you're going to hear a lot. Entradas para el evento. Entradas para el partido. Entrances, basically. And it, like I said, it depends on the context and the country where you're at the time. If you're in Spain, they may say some things one way, and different places of Spain may say it slightly different. But again, that depends on the context and the country. Okay, I've heard all three of those in different contexts, and sometimes in the same context in different countries. So really, it depends. But if you say one or the other, in whatever country you're in, you'll probably still be fine no matter what. Okay, next up. All right, now tomorrow's authentic resource related to entertainment listening is going to be real simply this article. It is a news article, but it's audiovisual. But it's entitled "¿Por qué el Kentucky Derby es tan famoso en los Estados Unidos?" So why is the Kentucky Derby so famous in the United States? And it's coming from CNN in Spanish rather. And the website, if you ever want to look it up on your own, is cnnespañol.cnn.com diagonal video CNN Kentucky Derby Appeal, etc. But I'm going to show it to you and we're going to work through it ourselves. Okay, it says some things you can actually look for and listen for in the CNN news clip about the Derby, and that you can also add to your vocabulary list. Think back to today's learning targets, smiley face, are the following. Miles de espectadores, mucho más que. Fanáticos, carreras, los mejores del mundo, mucho más seria. Estamos muy emocionados. Es una de las competitivas más bla 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 de todo el mundo. ¿Crees que está en aumento? Si triunfan aquí. Aquí. All right, so let's go ahead and break those down. The first one here, miles de espectadores. That means thousands of spectators. Mucho más que, a whole lot more than. Fanáticos, fans, carreras, races. If you all like to go to carreras de caballos, horse races. If you like to go to carreras de carros, that would be like, for example, car races. If you like whatever carrera you like to do, or carreras de cross country races. Los mejores del mundo, the best in the world. Mucho más seria, a whole lot more serious. Estamos muy emocionados. We're very, think about that on your vocabulary list from previous lessons, hint, hint. Okay, es una de las competitivas más blah, 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 blah de todo el mundo. It's one of the competitions most blah, blah, blah of the whole world. Okay, so, if you want to change that, I don't know if one of the things that you all talk about eventually in your assessments will be the most competitive ones in the whole world, but you could say the most competitive ones of Kentucky or Eastern Kentucky, you could say, when you all talk about your event, when you do your entertainment, presentational speaking, presentational writing and stuff later on down in this unit. So we'll talk about that as we go further, though. ¿Crees que está en aumento? Do you believe it's increasing? Listen for that because you have a question eventually. And then si triunfan aquí, blah, blah, blah. Okay, if they win here, blah, blah, blah. So triunfar, to win, essentially. All right, now we're going to actually go to that video, and then we'll come back to the last few questions in the slide. So here's the video we're going to watch, and we're going to work through it the best we can. Let me give you a few little questions, though, to kind of think about while we watch it, okay? Those real simply are, what does the audio clip talk about, and what are the main ideas presented within the clip? Number 2, has the Derby increased or decreased in recent years, according to the audio clip, of course? Number 3, do people solely come to the Derby for the horse races, or for what other reasons do they come to Kentucky and to the Derby? Number 4, what are 5 vocabulary words from this unit that you heard in the clip? Number 5, what are your reflections and feelings about hearing a Kentucky Derby article completely in Spanish, targeted for audience who speak Spanish and view CNN in Spanish? Now let's go back here to the article, and we're going to listen to it together. All right, so here we go. And you might hear an advertisement as well. And that's just typical stuff. If you do, that's just part of it. I'm going to continue with that and dismiss it, all that. Okay. Computer's acting a little weird sometimes, but that's okay.
Go! Test drive.
Entonces tiene un motor de 370 caballos.
Quemacocos. ¿Para qué? Espérame.
This also goes along with one of your learning targets about advertisements, so, see if you can understand what the advertisement's talking about. Okay, pretty visual, pretty audio, no? They're actually in Louisville here.
Algunas carreras son mucho más que una simple competencia entre caballos. Con miles de espectadores, la emoción del momento, la tradición y un gran premio monetario, una carrera como esta se convierte en un gran evento. Bienvenidos a Louisville, hogar del Kentucky Derby, la carrera de caballos más famosa de Estados Unidos. El Kentucky Derby se inició en 1875 y por más de un siglo ha estado en la lista de cosas que los fanáticos de la hípica de todo el mundo quieren presenciar. Las carreras que se llevan a cabo en Kentucky se encuentran entre las mejores del mundo, pero mucha gente no solo viene por los caballos, vienen por la cultura y el espectáculo que se vive en las calles de Louisville. El entorno social es una parte muy importante que hace de Kentucky un lugar muy especial. Pero la motivación de los dueños y entrenadores es mucho más seria. Si triunfan aquí, su lugar en el panteón de la hípica estadounidense está garantizado. Kevin, ¿cómo se ven las cosas de cara a ese nuevo Kentucky Derby?
Estamos muy emocionados. Ha sido una gran semana. Parece que el día estará soleado con una temperatura de 24 grados. Es uno de los grupos de caballos más competitivos que hemos tenido en la historia del Kentucky Derby.
¿Cómo lo saben? ¿En qué se basan?
En el rendimiento de los caballos, puede que algunos de los caballos que han sido los favoritos en años pasados sean ahora la cuarta o quinta opción. Todo se basa en su rendimiento y récord, y todo será decidido el sábado en la pista.
¿Qué hace que el evento siga creciendo cada año? ¿Crees que está en aumento?
Ha crecido en los últimos 2 años. Ha roto récords de asistencia con más de 160,000 personas el día del Derby y más de 115,000 el viernes durante el Kentucky Oaks. Pero de verdad se trata sobre la experiencia todo el fin de semana. Las carreras son definitivamente el enfoque, pero también se trata de la comida, de la moda y el entretenimiento, de ser visto en el Kentucky Derby.
All right, now guys, we're going to go ahead and watch it again, and we're going to get some more points out, and I'll try to pause it for you real quickly and go from there. All right, chicos? Okay, here comes the advertisement.
Si no lo haces tú, siempre puedo ir a otro sitio.
Interesting, ¿no?
Hemos terminado.
Tómalo o déjalo.
Motor Tiger Shack. Luces LED. Y las ruedas Hyper Black.
Y una gorra.
Trato hecho.
Perdón.
Algunas carreras son mucho más que una simple competencia.
Okay, so she said algunas carreras son mucho más que una simple competición, ¿no? So a lot of the races are much more than just a simple competition.
Entre caballos.
De caballos of horses. Caballos, of course, are horses, as you probably remembered in the past, but...
Con miles de espectadores, la emoción del momento,
Con miles de espectadores, with thousands of spectators.
la tradición y un gran premio monetario, una carrera como
Y un gran premio monetario. A big money prize. That's what she's trying to say, but, you know.
esta se convierte en un gran evento.
Un gran evento. A big event, ¿no?
Bienvenidos a Louisville, hogar del
Welcome
Kentucky
to
Derby,
Louisville.
la carrera de caballos más famosa de Estados Unidos.
The most famous in the whole United States. And I'm just going to try to help you with bits and pieces of this. We'll talk about it more in class, but still, I want you to have like a preview of 2 times of it, so.
Kentucky Derby se inició en 1875 y por más de un siglo ha estado en la lista de cosas que los fanáticos de la hípica de
And the
todo el mundo quieren
fans
presenciar.
are just around the world is most happy about here. And I'm trying to summarize, guys. So
Las carreras que se llevan a cabo en Kentucky se encuentran entre las mejores del mundo.
they're the
Pero mucha
mejores del
gente no
mundo.
solo
The races
viene por
are
los
here. So
caballos.
the best in the world.
Vienen por la cultura y el espectáculo
They
que
come
se
for
vive
the
en las calles
culture.
del
They
mismo.
come for
El
the
entorno social es una parte muy importante que
the
hace de Kentucky un
social
lugar muy
environment is
especial.
also the most one
Pero
of the
la
most important
motivación de
here.
los dueños y entrenadores es mucho más seria. Si
And it's
triunfan
mucho
aquí,
más seria.
su
They
lugar en el
actually
panteón de la
the
hípica
actually training and stuff is
estadounidense
more
está
serious.
garantizado. Kevin, ¿cómo se ven las cosas de cara a este
Here's one
nuevo
of the
Kentucky
directors
Derby?
of the Kentucky Derby, actually.
Estamos muy emocionados.
We're
Ha sido
muy
una gran
emocionados.
semana. Parece que el día estará soleado con una temperatura de 24 grados.
24
es uno de
grados
los grupos de caballos
Celsius.
más competitivos que hemos tenido en la historia del Kentucky Derby.
¿Cómo lo saben? ¿En qué
How do
se
y'all know
basan?
this? What is this based on?
En el rendimiento de los caballos, puede que algunos de los caballos que han sido los favoritos en años pasados sean ahora la cuarta o quinta opción.
Fourth
Todo
or
se
fifth
basa en su
option,
rendimiento y
option
récord,
there,
y
so
todo
it's
será
a record
decidido
there.
el sábado en la pista.
¿Qué hace que el evento siga creciendo cada año? ¿Crees que está en aumento?
You think it's increasing or decreasing?
Ha crecido en los últimos 2 años.
Ha crecido mucho en los últimos años. It's increased a lot in the last few years.
Personas el día del derby y más de 115,000 el viernes durante el
115,000,
Pero de verdad se trata sobre
115,000.
la experiencia todo el fin de
Lot.
semana. Las carreras son definitivamente el enfoque, pero también se trata de la comida.
It also focuses on the
de
food,
ser visto en el Kentucky.
fashion, services, culture. So think about those things, guys, all right? So those are really cool little things, all right? Let's go back to 2 things on your presentation. I'll let you go for this evening. And let's see, the first one, of course, here was your learning targets. Today, the in-class session, we're going to talk about short advertisement, radio, television, commercial, which you had a commercial, but also we had the Derby thing, so it's only 2 minutes long, so it's pretty cool. Some familiar words we've talked about a little bit, and that was your learning targets, being able to identify some of those. And then when people talk about entertainment, they're talking about the Derby, so you have to hear a few things about that. A few questions. These will be half of your quiz for tomorrow. So what does the audio clip talk about, and what are the main ideas presented within the clip? You can watch it as many times as you want to. And I can go over more of that in class too, but I tried to walk you through some of those, and in classwork would do much more about it though. Has the Derby increased or decreased in the recent years? I hope you know that it has increased, and we kind of talked about that. It was mentioned too by the director there at the Kentucky Derby in Louisville. And do people solely come to the Derby for the horse races or for whatever the reasons? In case you didn't get that, just go back and watch the pictures there near the end of it, and also the beginning of it too. And also, what are 5 vocabulary words from the unit that you heard in the clip? You should be able to get those pretty easily. And then, what are your reflections and feelings about hearing a Kentucky Derby article completely in Spanish, targeted for our audience who speak Spanish and view CNN Español? Okay, chicos, I'm going to let you go for today, and then we'll hop back and discuss this more tomorrow. Gracias, chicos. Hasta luego, ¿no?